Good morning. We have news of the USSR putting Sputnik 2 into orbit. As we all know, the tension between the US and the USSR is growing. Many believe that a World War III could happen. The Soviets have just followed up on their success with putting the very first satellite into orbit, Sputnik, with putting another one, Sputnik 2, into outer space. This happened at Baikonur in the USSR. The satellite itself is 58 centimeters in diameter and 4 meters in height. It is the very first satellite with technological instruments on board. It also carries the very first life form. Laika the dog was taken into outer space with the satellite. Now, of course, the USA will have to make a response. Let's just hope it's not involve violence. We do not know of this moment what happened to the dog. Wait. Well, I just got a call that Laika has died. They say that she has catered with plenty of food and water, but that intense heat was the cause of her death. This great step in progress will undoubtedly bring many improvements in that area of science. I think the biggest question is how their rivals, USA, will react. It looks like this is only the beginning to the exploration in space.
Greetings, fellow Americans. This is newsman Harry Lipp. Now to inform you about the United States presidential election this year in 1952. During the time of this election, many Americans have been affected by the Red Scare. This can be described as a suspicious theory that communist spies are undermining the U.S. government. Senator Joseph McCarthy, a Republican from Wisconsin, has been organizing a witch hunt in which congressional investigations are performed within the government. Reporter Eaton Wright gives us more information on where Mr. McCarthy stands. Thanks, Harry. Well, McCarthy has claimed that the former Truman and Roosevelt administrations contributed to 20 years of treason. He even insists that he has a list of State Department employees who are loyal alone to the Soviet Union. Despite that he has displayed no evidence and has only revealed one single name. Even so, McCarthy has accumulated a vast amount of Americans that support his claims. Back to you, Lip. That's embarrassing. Thanks, Eaton, for the further information. Also taking place in the time of the bloody Korean War, this special election has been even more heated with this event that has added extra tension. As the majority of you listening might already know, Mr. Eisenhower had selected Richard Nixon as his running mate, a Californian who holds firm to anti-communist values. Dwight has won the presidential election this year, his competitor having been Democrat Adlai E. Stevenson. This nation seems to adore Eisenhower's down-to-earth image and character. The new president will lead in a predicted time of many difficult challenges, but the citizens of America have faith that we will prevail together as a unified nation. Communism will persist in its evil schemes, but the United States will not back down in this fight for good. The following is an example of what you should do when there's a nuclear missile warning.
Wake up. Okay, class, do you remember yesterday's lesson? You can tell me what's wrong with the
Excuse the interruption. There's been a nuclear missile warning. Please get under your desks.
Okay, so this is a warning, alright? So just calmly get under your desk and be safe. Hurry, calm. Don't worry about it. I'll be safe.
Back from the break. In recent news, the Interstate Highway has just been finished. The proposal of this amazing idea first appeared in 1939 by Franklin D. Roosevelt. This was just a proposal. Later in 1956, President Eisenhower proposed to start making this amazing system of highways. In the stage of getting the Highway Act of 1956, the House of Representatives had to get money for it, so a representative of the name of Hale Boggs of Louisiana came up with the Highway Revenue Act of 1956. It was a tax on gas for 3 cents per gallon and was voted in with all but 19 of the representatives not agreeing. About a month later, the Interstate Highway Act got approved and they started construction. This highway is by far one of our best achievements America has ever made and probably will never be outdone.
Starting during the 1960s, two men by the name of Albert R. Broccoli and Harry Saltzman united to purchase the filming rights from author Ian Fleming to now popular novels and films James Bond. Albert and Harry created a production company called Eon Productions and began working on the first James Bond film, Dr. No. Upon the very successful release of Dr. No, the media began to turn their attention toward this new popular cinema. James Bond is a perfect, heroic embodiment of a British hero and gave the Cold War plot a slightly different meaning and filled it with secret agents, crazy gadgets, action, and love, which weren't common parts of the Cold War plot. In the movie James Bond, he's a secret agent who is working for the MI6 and also answers by a codename 007. He is given big but secret operations, which he completes and also has a habit for having a good time with women. To ensure further productions of the James Bond film, Harry and Albert created a holding company called Don Jock. Many other producers made James Bond films after Dr. No. 23 in all. Eon Productions ranked third highest grossing film series after its last and most recent production, Skyfall, trailing behind Harry Potter and Marvel Cinematic Universe. Skyfall was produced by Barbara Broccoli, the daughter of Albert Broccoli, and thus became the 23rd and last James Bond film at this time. Who's to say it won't be the last?
Thanks, Chad. Famous singer Elvis Presley has just died. Here is a brief history of this actor and singer. At an early age, he was into music. His earlier fame came from his unusual music style. He moved his hips and had good looks. Elvis's first #1 hit was Hotel Heartbreak. Elvis had many personal obstacles. First, his wife was giving him troubles, and he was beginning to get addicted to drugs. He is believed to have died of drug overdose. The police are still trying to be certain. His legacy will always live in us, and he was always and always will be the king of rock and roll. That's all for now. Thanks for watching News at 5.
Whoa, Mark, what do you have there?
It's my spaceship.
What's it made out of?
It's made out of Legos. Come here, look.
That's really cool.
Get your Legos today at your local toy store.